A man is lucky if he is the first love of a woman. A woman is lucky if she is the last love of a man. I must be taken as I have been made. The success is not mine, the failure is not mine, but the two together make me. No space of regret can make amends for one. Life's opportunity misused. There is a wisdom of the head, and there is a wisdom of the heart. My advice is never do tomorrow what you can do today. Procrastination is the thief of time. Collar him. A loving heart is the truest wisdom. Consider nothing impossible. Then treat possibilities as probabilities. If there were no bad people, there would be no good lawyers. The broken heart. You think you will die, but you just keep living. Day after day after terrible day. There is nothing in the world so irresistibly contagious as laughter and good humor. The pain of parting is nothing to the joy of meeting again. Grief never mended no broken bones. There are strings in the human heart that had better not be vibrated. Never close your lips to those whom you have already opened your heart. In a word, I was too cowardly to do what I knew to be right, as I had been too cowardly to avoid doing what I knew to be wrong. There are books, of which the backs and covers are by far the best parts. Every traveller has a home of his own, and he learns to appreciate it the more from his wandering. We need never be ashamed of our tears. Have a heart that never hardens, and a temper that never tires, and a touch that never hurts. The sun himself is weak when he first rises, and gathers strength and courage as the day gets on. For not an orphan in the wide world can be so deserted as the child, who is an outcast from a living parent's love. Some people are nobody's enemies, but their own. Cheerfulness and contentment are great beautifiers, and are famous preservers of good looks. Every failure teaches a man something, if he will learn, and you are too sensible a man not to learn from this failure. True love believes everything and bears everything, and trusts everything. Charity begins at home, and justice begins next door. I hope that real love and truth are stronger in the end than any evil or misfortune in the world. Electric communication will never be a substitute for the face of someone who, with their soul, encourages another person to be brave and true. Man cannot really improve himself without improving others. The habit of paying compliments kept a man's tongue oiled without any expense. Take nothing on its looks, take everything on evidence. There's no better rule. All of us have wonders hidden in our breasts, only needing circumstances to evoke them. Mystery and disappointment are not absolutely indispensable to the growth of love, but they are very often its powerful auxiliaries. Death may beget life, but oppression can beget nothing other than itself. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of another. Suffering has been stronger than all other teaching, and has taught me to understand what your heart used to be. I have been bent and broken, but I hope into a better shape. Ask no questions, and you'll be told no lies. Throughout life, our worst weaknesses and meannesses are usually committed for the sake of the people whom we most despise. The secret remains secret until a third sniffs it. Always acknowledge your fault. This will throw those in authority off their guard and give you an opportunity to make a choice. A person who doesn't have a cent is not poor, but a person who doesn't have ambition is poor. The longer we dwell on our misfortunes, the greater is their power to harm us. Everyone has some supreme qualities. That is the gift of God. Sometimes we face many ups and downs in life, and tremble to make the right decisions. Bizarre life is still able to find an excellent rise in the hidden desire to draw better. A sharp-witted mind has the strongest understanding power. Sacrifice is the easiest thing for a person who has a burning desire to achieve great things. A man can never have too much red wine, too many books, or too much ammunition. If you believe that the essence of bravery lies in the stake of someone's life on possibility, then the essence of conviction lies in the journey. To trust that possibility's existence. By land, they're not making it anymore. The partnership is not only a principle, but a strong bond of two or more persons who are ready to share commonness risks, privileges, and responsibilities. Dost thou love life? Then do not squander time. For that's the stuff life is made of. Pass your work to those who are better at it. This comes under the last part of success. Only a wise man can understand the two meanings of a single word. Growing old is an inevitable phenomenon, but a busy man has no time to look after it. When you add lying to the truth, it becomes worthless. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Have courage and always face the difficulties in life. Good thoughts are a way to get closer to God, but it remains just thoughts if never acted upon truly. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. It is enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system. For if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. Always forgive your enemies, nothing annoys them so much. I think there is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, and that is softness of head. Blessed is he who expects nothing, for he shall never be disappointed. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. Our labor preserves us from three great evils: weariness, vice, and want. The reason so many people never get anywhere in life is because when opportunity knocks, they are out in the backyard looking for four-leaf clovers. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. The only time you really live fully is from 30 to 60. The young are slaves to dreams. The old servants of regrets. Only the middle-aged have all their five senses in the keeping of their wits. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. To lengthen thy life, lessen thy meals. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and man. Whenever there is a hard job to be done, I assign it to a lazy man. He's sure to find an easy way of doing it. Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, have shut afterwards. It is enough. Think how difficult it is to change yourself, and you will understand how insignificant your opportunities are to change other. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. The happiest of all lives is a busy solitude. Men should be either treated generously or destroyed, because they take revenge for slight injuries. For heavy ones they cannot. If an injury has to be done to a man, it should be so severe that his vengeance need not be feared. Wisdom consists of knowing how to distinguish the nature of trouble, and in choosing the lesser evil. Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. It is better to act and repent than not to act and regret. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. A battle that you win cancels any other bad action of yours. In the same way, by losing one, All the good things worked by you before become vain. He who is highly esteemed is not easily conspired against. Everyone sees what you appear to be. If you experience what you really are, it is far better to earn the confidence of the people than to rely on fortresses. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration. Make no small plans, for they have no power to stir the soul. There is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of your enemy. It is a common fault of men not to reckon on storms in fair weather. A prudent man should always follow in the path trodden by great men and imitate those who are most excellent, so that, if he does not attain to their greatness at any rate, he will get some tinge of it. Never do an enemy a small injury. Men shrink less from offending one who inspires love than one who inspires fear. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. One should never fall in the belief that you can find someone to pick you up, since love and fear can hardly exist together. If we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved. Nature creates few men. Brave industry and training makes many. Never was anything great achieved without danger. Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. Make mistakes of ambition and not mistakes of sloth. Develop the strength to do bold things, not the strength to suffer. He who builds on the people builds on the mud. There is no other way to guard yourself against flattery than by making men understand that telling you the truth will not offend you. It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. The vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances, and the world consists chiefly of the vulgar. Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony. Men intrinsically do not trust new things that they have not experienced themselves. The more sand has escaped from the hourglass of our life, the clearer we should see through it. Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. He who shuns women passes up the trouble, but also the benefits. He who puts up with them gains the benefits, but also the trouble. As the saying goes, there's no honey without bees. Everyone around will envy you if you tell the truth which is profitable. Never let others interrupt you, because you will lose respect. Beware of a man who interrupts you, because he is trying to show you strength. It is much safer to be feared than loved, because love is preserved by the link of obligation, which owing to the baseless of men, is broken at every opportunity for their advantage. But fear preserves you by a dread of punishment, which never fails.